Market to Market is everywhere you are. Subscribe to Market on YouTube, find us on the PBS video app to stream on demand, and add our 3 podcasts on your favorite podcasting app.
The ongoing drought gripping the country could have long-term impacts on farming, as well as those who depend on agriculture for their livelihoods.
We're working on providing immediate relief where we can. We're watching what this impact's going to be, just not during the drought months, but like, what are we going to have to provide? We're aware that, there's going to be impacts of this in the late fall, early winter, even if drought's no longer in that respective part of the country.
According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, over 260 million acres of crops in the U.S. are experiencing some form of drought. In California alone, losses are mounting as hot, dry weather continues to starve Golden State commodities of water.
So a lot of it in agriculture will be fallowing acres wherever we can. We do have more permanent crops now because they're high value. And we've already seen people pull out almond orchards and some of the aging grapevines. And so that will continue to happen if this goes on.
Decreasing river levels and climbing temperatures throughout Northern California have had a major impact on the state's $1.4 billion fishing industry. Hundreds of thousands of salmon fry perished in the Klamath and Sacramento rivers due to rising temperatures. Adult salmon were also impacted as the warmer waters in traditional spawning grounds made it difficult to lay eggs.
What can we do to help the fish? Because if we crash our ecosystems, that's not good for farming either. And we're very worried about a couple different runs of salmon extinction, and we don't want that. None of us want to. That's really mortgaging the future if we can't do that.
To help save future generations, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife has trucked more than 1 million young Chinook salmon to state and federal hatcheries until river conditions improve. Northern California wildfires continue to grow this week, claiming 1.3 million acres. The cost of fighting these fires in the Golden State has climbed to $540 million. The same hot, dry weather impacting California also is generating wildfires throughout the Pacific Northwest. According to the U.S. Forest Service, the Bootleg Fire, Oregon's largest fire this year, consumed more than 400,000 acres since it started in late July. The Oregon Forest and Industries Council, a trade association representing more than 50 forest land owners and forest product manufacturers, calculates that numerous heat waves and a lack of rainfall has extended the 2021 wildfire season by nearly 2 months.
The drought conditions we're seeing and just the sheer speed and scale that these fires are reaching in such a short amount of time end up creating situations where obviously the loss to the landowner. I mean, imagine, right, you've invested 40 years in a cornfield. You can't harvest it until year 40. And you're sitting there on pins and needles just praying to God that it makes it to year 40, and it doesn't. And we don't have insurance for any of that.
The Beaver State ranks first in the nation for production of softwood lumber. In 2019, sawmills manufactured over 5 billion board feet of softwood lumber, according to the U.S. Forest Service. USDA officials point to climate change as the common denominator for the catastrophic weather events in 2021. Emergency assistance programs are helping farmers and ranchers recover from flash floods, droughts, and wildfires, with an emphasis on conservation and climate change.
This is impacting agriculture in many ways, in drought, in soil health, in temperatures, extreme weather. So I think, fire, I think these are all things. And so we need to be addressing all of them, but be aware it's a larger solution.
Across portions of the Midwest, the continuing drought has slowed streams and rivers to a trickle. The latest U.S. drought monitor shows some relief in areas of the western U.S., while drought conditions were mixed across the Midwest, with spotty rain showers and above normal temperatures. But despite rain gauges full of water, this week's precipitation did little to ease drought conditions.
We have some deficits going back to last year that are, quite significant, on the order of double-digit deficits in the way of precipitation. So when you have 2 or 3 inches of rain, that moves the needle the right way, but it also still doesn't cut into the complete deficit.
According to the latest USDA crop conditions report, 60% of the nation's corn crop is rated as good to excellent, 4 points behind this time last year. The nation's soybean crop rates 56% good to excellent, down 14 points from a year ago.
We need rain immediately for some of these soybean folks. Otherwise, some of the soybeans are done. We have some soybeans that are very close to being done, and with the heat we're having right now, that may move them to sudden death. So it doesn't help them at all. Now, on the off side, that rain does go into soil moisture, so that's the next thing we're starting to talk about is, okay, if we can't help this year's crop, or even if we do, we need to start banking soil moisture for next year. So the benefit of rainfall is we start putting moisture in the soil for next year.
For Market to Market, I'm John Torpy.